Welcome to another movie plot and enjoy the memories. It begins with a depressed salesman named Adam losing everything not indicated by a red sticker in a brutal breakup with his girlfriend. She even took the television, so he goes to the basement to retrieve the spare where his nephew Jacob's doing hard time in a video game and lectures his uncle about his poor choice of women. Elsewhere, working at a job he hates in a pet store, is his equally depressed childhood friend Nick Webber. He thinks that his wife's cheating on him and spends his days at work retrieving car keys from dogs' rectums for their annoying owners. That night he contacts Adam for the first time in years after hearing that their childhood friend Lou's been hospitalized for carbon monoxide poisoning. Adam meets Nick's wife Courtney while waiting for the news from the doctor that Lou's accident might have happened on purpose. He's divorced, lost his job, has no kids, is an alcoholic, and has a shriveled testicle, all of which he overhears the friends saying when they think that he's asleep. They begin to act overly nice to Lou, but he insists he didn't do it on purpose and would put a shotgun to his crotch if he was ever going to take himself out. Just in case, the friends invite Lou to join them at Kodiak Ski Resort to cheer him up, where the three enjoyed the best days of their young lives. He's instantly disappointed when the next day they pick him up and he learns that Jacob will be joining them, so he gives the kid crap all the way to Kodiak Valley. Lou's brought along a bunch of vices for tonight's entertainment, including an illegal Russian energy drink called Chernobyl. Once they get to the town, they see many of the stores boarded up and the place looks trashed, but reminisce about a girl that Adam dated known as the Great White Buffalo, who stabbed him in the eyelid with a fork when he dumped her. The once thriving ski resort's now run down and smells like cat piss, while Lou's devastated to hear that Nick took his wife's last name and is now Webber-Agnew. Even the guy with the goatee says that it's weird as the friends are shown to their room by the miserable one-armed bellboy Phil. He's spent his whole life being grumpy after losing his arm 3 decades ago and tosses the luggage around the room before expecting to still receive a tip. The room's the same one that they stayed in as kids, but it's nothing like it used to be, and the hot tub's now just the tomb for a dead raccoon. After getting loaded, Lou attempts to order some girls to the room, but the boys aren't willing to fork over the $3,000 required, so he prepares to go out instead. Suddenly the balcony doors swing open and the decayed hot tub's now completely restored by a mysterious quick-working repairman. They all decide to jump in for a night of heavy drinking, where they accidentally douse the tub's console with Chernobyl before passing out. The next day Adam wakes up outside, still in the hot tub, with a hungover Lou who vomits all over a squirrel before they begin their long day skiing. Every one of the slopegoers they pass is now wearing pristine 80s style clothing and gawk at the appearance of a snowboard as it goes by. The friends collide and take a tumble off a cliff, but all three spring back up unharmed and feeling like they're indestructible for the first time in decades. When they return to the lodge, the four are confronted by the head of slope security, Blaine, who seems all too brave to be threatening 3 adults. He demonstrates that karate's currently a fad before leaving, as the friends speculate that maybe an 80s theme party's taking place at the resort this weekend. On further inspection of MTV cassette players, Jerry curls and a lady wearing a "Where's the Beef" shirt saying that Michael Jackson's Still Black terrifies them back to their hotel room. When Phil shows up with a joyful attitude in both arms, they realize that they've time traveled back to 1986 and that the hot tub's to blame. They appear normal to each other, but Adam, Lou and Nick have assumed their younger bodies and look like their teen selves to everyone they meet. Since he wasn't born yet, Jacob just appears the same, but he occasionally flickers and needs to be slapped back into place. Just then a hot tub repairman enters, warning them not to change anything to prevent having a butterfly effect, but does it in an unnecessarily vague way. The tub's currently damaged, but the repairman disappears, leaving the gang to reenact their experiences exactly like it happened in the past. Nick's required to perform Careless Whisper with his band at an open mic night and sleep with a groupie, which he sees as cheating despite not even meeting his partner yet. Lou's hyped up because he also slept with a random girl this night, until remembering that he'll need to get beaten up by Blaine before that. And finally Adam needs to get stabbed with a fork again by the girlfriend Jenny, who he doesn't even remember why he broke up with her. Jacob isn't allowed to do anything since he didn't exist, but gets to meet the young version of his addict mother Kellee, whose neglect is the reason he lives with Adam. He's further scarred for life when she says that her plan for tonight's to do a whole bunch of blow and wax a random stranger's pole. The group all split up to begin fulfilling their tasks, but first Lou and Jacob stop by the ice sculptures, hoping to see the bellboy lose his arm. After a few close calls that has Lou feeling disappointed that he didn't get to see Phil get massacred, they move on but bump into Blaine just like in the 80s. He punches Lou in the face and steals his backpack containing the last tin of Chernobyl. But this isn't the full beating, as Lou reluctantly challenges Blaine to a rematch later, which he hopes his friends will assist him with. While recovering the nose, he and Jacob meet a stranger named Zoe, who takes them both back to her hotel room looking for a 3-way. Lou's ready to break the rules of time travel for this one and convinces Jacob to join, but when the girl's called away on the phone he gets nervous and can't go through with it. It's double or nothing with Zoe, so Lou's out of luck, while elsewhere Adam finds his attraction to Jenny reignited by her simply walking around her room. Seeing no change in his appearance, she's all ready to be broken up with, but Adam has flashbacks of the painful experience and no longer wants to go through with it. To keep her happy, he takes her to a Poison concert instead, but at the bar he gets distracted when meeting the free-spirited music journalist April. Preferring their conversations over the ones with Jenny, he regretfully still leaves her to recreate his night and overcome his fear of getting stabbed in the eyeball. When his nephew finds him, he's angry that Adam hasn't held up his end of the promise, and they return to the lodge to reconvene with the others. Elsewhere, Nick's in high spirits when he reconnects with his old band but recognizes the girl that he's supposed to sleep with at the bar. He holds up his end of the deal, but midway through it he breaks down in tears while thinking about his wife and vents his problem to the soggy stranger. When he arrives back at the room, he's angry that he had to go through with it when Adam reneged on the deal and changed the past with Jenny. They take off in their own direction again, and this time Lou's with Nick when they almost witness Phil lose his arm to the elevator, but he just keeps managing to survive. Adam finally has the balls to go through with his breakup, but Jenny turns the tables on him when she initiates it first. Furious that he was stabbed for no reason all those years ago, Adam spitefully reveals that Jenny gets knocked up at a young age, getting him stuck in the eye with a fork anyway. Feeling miserable, he goes back to the room to consume as much as he can from Lou's stash before wandering around the resort alone. He comes across April again, who finds him lying outside in the snow and takes him to a nearby home to break in and have some fun. They end up getting intimate together when the owners suddenly come home and they run away like a pair of kids. Since Adam's not following the rules of time travel, Lou decides to capitalize on his knowledge of football games, betting on the outcomes and winning a boatload of money. It works until he risks everything betting against the big-time gambler Rick Steelman in exchange for a night with his beautiful wife. In what should be the game-winning touchdown, the squirrel that Lou vomited on earlier ruins the play and loses the gang all of their money. Lou was so confident he would win that he made a second part of the deal that sees him forced at gunpoint to go down on Nick in front of a crowd, but the big guy passes out. When he comes to, Lou's covered his face in hand sanitizer to scare Nick before explaining that he just told Rick a bunch of stuff that'll make him rich in the future to leave them alone. After getting all cleaned up, Nick changes his future by covering the more upbeat song Jesse's Girl, followed by the first ever performance of Let's Get It Started. The repairman informs Jacob the hot tub's fixed, but a chemical spilt on it was the key to their time travel, making him realize it was the Chernobyl that did it. He informs his uncle, who's gone to Nick's concert, and they've all forgotten about Lou's rematch with Blaine. He's getting himself ready at the bar where he tries sliding Kellee shots, but she doesn't get the hint and just keeps letting them smash. He promises to return victorious, then goes to the fight expecting his friends to have his back this time, but just like in the past they forget and Lou's once again beaten up. After the concert, April leaves on her bus hoping that the universe will bring her together with Adam again, who rushes off to try save Lou. They find him drinking atop the resort depressed, but while trying to convince him to help get the Chernobyl back he slips and they save him from falling to his death. When Nick can't hold on any longer, the group are saved by the bellboy Phil, who Lou's never been so happy to see with both arms still attached. They quickly hurry over to a party at Blaine's cabin to search the bedrooms for the drink, but Lou comes across Kellee and the pair get a little distracted. In another part of the house, Nick makes a bad decision and calls his future wife to verbally abuse her for cheating on him, but Courtney's only 9 at the time, so her dad gets an equally as passionate earful from Nick before Adam and Jacob can restrain him. They then interrupt Lou and Kellee getting it on, but when Jacob tries to tackle Lou off his mom, he suddenly vanishes and the guys realize that Lou's Jacob's long-lost father. Adam gives him the go-ahead to finish conceiving Jacob with his sister while the friends wait outside, and he reappears only to try strangle his own father to death and having to be dragged off him. They finally find the drink with Blaine, who accuses them of being Russian spies for all the futuristic gear that he found in Lou's backpack. He punches him to the ground again, but Lou gets a pep talk from the boys that he's not the same loser kid as he once was, and he finally fights back. He beats Blaine to the ground and needs to be pulled off him while Nick picks up the dropped Chernobyl and pretends that it's a bomb to hold back the crowd. He and Adam shout some phony Russian before retreating back to the hot tub, getting a ride to the resort with Phil. They finally witness him lose his arm when a passing truck takes it off, but have no time to enjoy the moment as Blaine and the boys arrive willing to risk it for America. After quickly saying their goodbyes to their mother, sister and lover, the 4 friends jump in the tub together and dump the can of Chernobyl into the console. It creates a vortex where Jacob and Nick enter, but Lou says to Adam that he wants to stay in 1986 and raise Jacob with a father. He admits to Adam that his carbon monoxide poisoning was really an attempt to take his own life and that he'll just end up doing it again if he returns. Adam's willing to remain as well, but Lou pushes him into the vortex and the 3 are thrown into the air and transported forward to 2015. Once they get back to the run-down version of the resort, they discover that Lou's changed history by founding the successful Lugal company. Jacob's mother's no longer a crackhead and Phil's arm was reattached since the ski patrol were right there ready to take him to the hospital. Nick finds out that he's a successful music producer and that his wife was so traumatized by the call she received in the 80s that she never cheated. Adam gets home to discover that he's happily married to April, and they all reunite at Lou's mansion with their families to celebrate their new lives. Lou reckons that Lugal was his second attempt at making it big after his first business venture failed as the frontman of the rock band Motley Lue. And the movie ends.